whether we're ready or not.
But I'm still eating.
I need to scoot closer to you because I like you. Hi. Welcome back to the homestead. Guess what?
What?
It's cold.
Oh, it is cold. Yeah. And it's cold in Tennessee, but
It's cold and dark. Let me go turn on a light.
it's cold in our house.
There. That'll at least make it look a little
that
bit
better?
warmer in our house.
It's not, though.
But it looks warmer.
There's no need to lie to people.
Oh my goodness. Well, hello. Who all's on here? Got some people watching, I'm sure. I think Silas is on
I'll be
moderating.
done with dinner in a minute.
Oh, you want me to wait? I haven't hardly started.
No, you don't have to wait.
I'm glad that you found a good use of all of our mini eggs.
Oh my goodness. So many eggs. And I did not get through my goal. I only got to 18. It's true.
Well, I usually have like 6 eggs in the morning, and I was a little
Ooh, that was good.
busy. This is good.
That made me want more.
Want more? We've
To
got
eat more.
like 3 more downstairs, I think.
The other 2 I won't eat. We have so many eggs that I made Silas his own quiche, made Christina her own quiche, and I made you and me a quiche. And I didn't make Alyssa a quiche because she already asked me for chicken soup earlier today because she was sick.
Ah,
So she got soup.
so the chicken did come before the egg.
Did today, yeah. That took me a minute.
It's okay.
I didn't want to be sleepy today.
It's cold.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I feel like I'm spending this week playing catch up from the last 2 weeks. So as we've discussed, the last 2 weeks you were training and we had to just kind of like hunker down and be really quiet. And I felt like so many things kind of got left undone.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dogs didn't really get attention. I feel like we didn't spend as much time going in and out of the house, like outdoors, especially, and it was nice last week too. And then this week it's cold.
I feel like I'm eating in everybody's ear.
It's fine. They don't mind.
Like the mic is right here by my throat, and I'm like,
And then
I'll put it away. It's really good though. One more bite.
And then I feel like, what else? Oh, lots of chores that went undone. All right. So this morning, after you left, because now you're leaving the house, and so I feel like I can kind of get back in our normal routine, except it's a very different routine than what I'm used to because you are.
That's me, not you.
It's okay, because you are normally here, and you spent a lot of time out of the house so far this week, and I think that that's a pattern that's going to continue at least for a little while.
Yeah.
But I went out. You left very early, so I went out to take care of the chickens and feed the dogs.
Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome. And check on the rabbits and collect the eggs.
Yeah.
And so I was very surprised when I collected 21
You're welcome.
eggs. And so while you were gone today, I decided that that was ridiculous and that we already had 2 big baskets full of eggs in our kitchen, and that I was determined I was going to use 21 eggs today. I used 18.
Yeah.
But
it's more difficult than you
it's
think.
not, the day is not over.
So,
I could make
I think
something.
the fewest amount
Pudding
of
or
eggs.
something.
Cold? No, sir. No, sir. I think the fewest amount of eggs that I've collected this week is like 16 in a day.
16?
That's the fewest. Yep.
And the most?
22.
22. And we have how many chickens? 22, right?
Yeah, but 2 roosters. So
Okay.
you do the math.
Well, they're special. Special roosters.
They are doing well. They're having fun. Growing up, eating a lot. Whenever it gets colder, the chickens tend to eat more. So I'll probably put a heat lamp or 2 in there. It'll help to prolong their egg production because they tend to slow during the winter. Although that might be helpful right now.
No, you know what? No, I'm going to say no. Eggs are like $5 a dozen at the store, and I don't want to pay that, and I don't want our friends and family to have to pay it either. So
I thought about something.
what's that?
I could take a dozen eggs to my appointments, like as bribe for people
A
to,
bribe?
Buy stuff from
As
me.
a bribe.
Yeah. Here's a $5 carton of eggs. Buy something from me. I think it's a good ploy. Another lady in our business was bringing like candied apples.
Candied apples.
Yeah.
This is like groceries, though.
This is like groceries.
It's way better.
It's way better.
But I feel like not enough people understand about farm eggs.
Oh,
So-
well, I'd be able to.
So you would end up like accidentally
I would wash them and prepare
poisoning them.
and
But then they
come-
had to be refrigerated. You brought them to them at an appointment. They can't refrigerate
Technically,
them.
You're not even supposed to like give them away if they're not washed, according to Tennessee. But they're
But it's-
better if
it's-
they're unwashed.
It's better.
Yeah, it's just you have to take personal responsibility for your health and well-being. And the government doesn't think that we can do that. But that's another story altogether.
That's a story from 2 years ago.
What if you wear a mask while you cook the eggs?
Then you'd probably be fine.
You'd probably be
Probably
fine.
be fine.
And help the spread of salmonella.
All right, what are we doing?
So yeah, it's been really cold, and we had our air conditioner repaired this summer because it
We
was really
did.
hot
Yeah.
and it wasn't working. And we go to click the heat on, and now it's not working. And I think in the summer repair that a wire got disconnected.
Yeah?
Because it's just like the relay is not even
So
kicking on.
last night the upstairs heat was working, but not the downstairs.
Yeah.
And now neither of them are.
Well, it's just because it's reached a temperature.
Okay, so it is working
It
up
is
here.
working. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I checked it.
Good.
Upstairs is working just fine. But we've got a load of lumber coming in because I'm a great homesteader and have piles of rounds out in the field that are
We'll
not
get those
split.
too. This is just going to
Yeah.
get us started. This will
So,
just get us started.
It'll get us started. And then I've got like 6 more trees that I need to cut up.
But I mean, you have
into rounds.
so much time that you're just not doing anything with.
Well, there was a 30-minute break. No, I filled that up today with phone calls. No, I didn't have any time today. We might have to start moving these live streams back a little bit because, well, trying to get home and then get ready for this immediately is probably more difficult than I expected it to be.
Or I could do them without you.
Or you could do them without me. I doubt it.
I mean, I couldn't do all this, but I could log into, I don't know, what are we on, YouTube?
YouTube.
I don't
yeah.
even know what we're on.
Yeah.
Could log into YouTube and just like hold up my phone and be like, hello, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that.
It's excellent. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share this out because, well, I like people.
And the only person watching is our moderator.
At the moment,
He's got
it's
nothing
possible.
to moderate.
He's got nothing. Braxton must be busy. All right, let's fire this out here. Come on. My goodness, the dogs are mouthy tonight. Paste. Oh. Paste. Boom. Yeah, buddy. There we are. Now I can't reach the keyboard.
What do you want to do? What do you want to say?
I just want to say, well, you got to hit spacebar. Or go before the link. I really like to go before the link.
Okay.
Because, well,
I can do that.
yeah. Like, hey friends, we're live. Come and join us. Holly's wearing a silly hat.
Oops.
So I have to keep the computer far away from us because the mic picks up the fan sound because I've got a extra big fan on my computer because for some reason it overheats. And so the mic picks
Okay.
up the fan sound.
I think that was
Holly's
challenging. I'm not going to
wearing
lie.
a silly hat.
Yeah, that's what you said, right?
Post. Boom.
I'm a very good secretary. I just type whatever
Good
you
job.
say, even if it's to my own detriment.
And then, ba-da-ba-da-boo.
I'm sure this is very entertaining
It is.
for our one viewer.
It's like, whoa, these guys have got it together. They know what's going on. Bada bing.
Do I have to say it again? Do I have to type it again?
No, you got to say something different. It's got to be original.
Oh, tag.
Okay. All right. My turn. now acting as Hurricane Homestead.
Are you?
I am.
My hat is not silly. It's not
not-
even a hat.
I-
It's like
I like it.
it's like a partial hat, like a half hat.
Yes, I like it. It's beautiful.
Well, it's happening. I'm cold.
Another great and action
Is it Dean?
Pat.
Hi, Dean. Dude, how are you?
live stream.
Wait.
Boom. And Holly is a little cold tonight, so that's a bonus.
This is terrible.
Boom.
Hey,
There.
Dean Smith.
Ha! We got one.
Well, we have two.
Oh, we
But
got two.
I really do need to know how Dean is.
How is Dean?
I'm worried about Dean.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't put that in the news. I guess we can talk about that as a homestead update.
Well, I'm very concerned about our good friend Dean.
Well, as
And
you,
I'm very concerned that you're about to give him a really hard time.
No. My deepest sympathies go out to him and his family for their loss this past weekend. I almost shed a tear for you. It was something else, to say the least. We love you, Dean. Y'all are crushing it with all this tech. That's right, we are.
I don't do tech, Dean. You know that.
She's very techie. Look at her.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Tennessee football team, Tennessee Vols, they did something they haven't done.
I think he just signed off. He's like,
He's
yeah,
like, gone.
No, not doing it.
Bounce. But yeah, the Tennessee Vols did something they haven't done. How many years has it been?
15? Didn't they say? I think 15.
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
I think 15.
It's been a long time, and they actually beat Alabama, and then they destroyed their
So-
stadium.
It's true. Yeah, which was not something that I feel like intelligent people do, but that's okay. We're actually not college football fans at
No,
all.
not at all.
We're not. So we normally would not care at all. But
Yeah.
it was actually a really, really good
It was a
game.
great game.
And then when it ended, it was so entertaining watching them tear apart the stadium.
Yeah, the only reason that I even wanted to watch the game was simply because I have so many friends that are like staunch Alabama fans and so many friends that are like staunch Tennessee fans.
You're like, who's going to be mad tomorrow?
That I just wanted to be able to like not be left out of the
It was
conversation.
a great game, though.
It was a good game. I was entertained thoroughly and completely, and then after the game, I was thoroughly and completely entertained by like the mass, like throngs of people like just jumping over the stadium wall and going onto the field. And I have a prediction, and I put this out here on Facebook, and everybody thought it was an announcement, but it's not an announcement. It's a prediction.
Oh, it's definitely not an announcement at all.
I predict come July, we're going to have a major baby boom in Tennessee from all the
You're so weird.
crazy,
You're like the
stupid
weirdest person I know.
Tennessee fans partying it up a little too hard. That's my prediction. We'll come July and see if I'm right.
So weird.
I'll call them big orange babies. Or jaundice babies.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, but I digress. All right. We've lost everyone again. Alabama is the state of being related to your wife. That is true.
No, well, no.
Usually you're related to your wife.
Listen, there are a lot of people that I know and love in Alabama.
I know, but
So,
like being a wife is a relation.
so what are we talking about today?
What are we talking about?
Let me just get you moving past this.
Is it already time for the news? We've got 5 more minutes of updates.
Okay, I got 21 eggs today and I used 18 of them.
We already said all that.
You do an update.
Okay, let's see. I have been leaving at dark 30 every morning. Not really been able to do much on the homestead, honestly. I've had early morning appointments with my new job with.
So what kind of things do you have to do?
With Rebel. That's me. Boom. You can't really see it.
So what kind of things do you have to do with your bees now that it's getting below freezing at night? Like, what is the deal? What happens?
So, I mean, the
with them?
biggest thing, I've been going out in the afternoons just kind of checking and seeing activity. And as it gets colder, they tend to like huddle in together into the center of the hive and just like, and like do little dances and exercise. Makes them sweat and gets that temperature up. You didn't know bees did aerobics, did you? That's what I'm calling it anyways. Yeah, so the bees are doing well, and then we're just going to make sure that they have as much food as they want to take. So I've been checking on that.
We will not be throwing fire on bees, Imperial Germany.
No, you don't throw fire on them.
And then, yes, I understand that they could be instantly warmed, but
You just blow smoke in them. So you put the fire in the smoker, and then you squeeze it, and it goes. And then they
so
think
it's
there's
really
fire.
important though that they have enough.
Yeah. So one of the key
There you
things
go.
is the placement of the bees. And I was talking with your dad, and we kind of walked the property before we even brought them out here. Because what you want is a southern-facing hive, and that way, in the wintertime, as the sun moves across the sky, they have the most exposure to direct sunlight, and that will actually warm the bees up. And then the color that we painted the hives. A lot of commercial hives are just painted white to keep them cooler because it's easier to keep them warm than it is to keep them cool. But if you don't want to put energy into keeping them warm, you can paint them a little bit darker color than just bright white. And what we did is like a blend-in green, like a disappearing green color. And what that'll do is in the wintertime, as the sun moves across the sky, they're getting direct sunlight. That'll keep that hive just a little bit warmer than it would otherwise, and allow the bees to be a little bit more comfortable. So as long as they've got warmth and access to food, because they do use a lot of energy moving around and keeping the hive warm, then they should be fine.
One of the things that we're trying to do right now is be sure that they have enough honey to get them through the winter.
Yep.
So that's why you've been feeding them.
Yep.
And we're feeding them how often?
So I was back when it was warm, but there wasn't a nectar flow. I was feeding them like every 3 days. They were needing more food.
Okay.
But now that it's cooled off a little bit, they may have. I hadn't actually checked the hives. They may have filled things up to where I went 5 days and they'd only dropped it about half of what the full line was.
So how much do they need?
They'll need a box and a half of honey.
And where are they at?
I don't know. I hadn't checked.
Like today?
I hadn't checked today. When I checked like a week ago, they had maybe in total a box of honey. So they just had a little bit more to go to be all right. Poor Daisy's locked up in her kennel.
That's okay.
Yeah, she's going through her heat cycle and keeps jumping on the furniture and making things gross.
Well, we just want to keep her safe and make sure she has what she needs. So, all right.
She's all good. So now it's time for In the News. You like that, don't you? She thinks I'm corny. Oh, but she likes it.
I know you're corny.
She likes it. So.
This is my favorite one.
This is your favorite one?
We're
You want to
starting
jump to this one?
with the first, the best
Boom.
one. This should be last.
Okay.
That's fine. So, Bigfoot is not only real, apparently, but he was arrested.
And it's short. Bigfoot is short and was arrested.
He was arrested in upstate South Carolina, actually near the border of Tennessee and Georgia.
Yep.
And no one knows why. The authorities in the area won't say why, but a lot of people did comment that he was shorter than they thought and that maybe he was Bigfoot's little brother.
Littlefoot. It says Bigfoot was spotted in upstate South Carolina Friday near the border of Georgia and Tennessee and arrested by the local sheriff's department. Oh.
He was caught while arriving to his own festival. It was a Bigfoot festival and they arrested Bigfoot. You know, and I understand that he's short, but you can't see his feet in this picture.
That's true. You don't really know.
They could be huge. You don't
if that's Bigfoot. You don't really know.
You don't know.
So the mystery's still out. What else we got? Oh, this one? Yeah. So you know that whole thing where like sitting on the front porch and you're like, why are these mosquitoes eating me alive?
And they don't eat you.
Yeah, it's because you smell.
I smell great.
It's because you smell. It says right here, a new study finds that some people really are mosquito magnets, and it probably has to do with the way that they smell. So there you have it. If you smell, you might be attracting mosquitoes. And you always smell really good, so that's probably why. I was like, you're sweeter
That
than I
was
am.
barely a save.
Nailed it.
Barely a save.
Oh, so yeah, but apparently there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, they tried masking smells. They tried even genetically engineering mosquitoes that did not have smelling receptors, and they still were attracted to
Well,
the
that's what we
smelly
need is
sauce.
genetically engineered mosquitoes. Sure, that seems like a good way to solve this problem. Let's just
tamper with nature
see
and
what
see
we
what
can do.
happens. That seems like the great
I
beginning to
I don't believe that there's nothing you can do. Okay, I'm gonna say I don't believe that there's nothing you can do. I really do think that they just don't know what it is yet.
Well, I mean,
Because
obviously.
I was several summer. I burn really easily, like in the sun.
Yeah.
I burn really, really easy. Like I usually am either like the color of a ghost or the color of a lobster.
Right. Either way. You
And
look
so
great.
I read an article. Some waiting for chat. What does that mean?
Oh, I don't know. It says it's active.
We don't know. Okay. Well, anyways, so I read an article saying that blueberries, if you ate blueberries, like
Yeah.
lots of them, that they actually gave you something that your body needed so that you would not burn in the sun as easily.
Right.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
I ate a ton of blueberries that summer, and I really didn't get sunburned. I
Right.
used to get sunburned like through my sunscreen and everything, and I really did not. And I've often wondered in summer since why I don't just keep doing that. But I mean, this is a really dedicated situation, like to eat that many blueberries. We should grow blueberries.
You should grow blueberries.
That'd be easier.
I like blueberries.
We
They're
should do
good,
that.
But I like blackberries better. I wonder if blackberries would work too.
We already grow blackberries.
So, what is it? It's the it's a superfood, and it basically the antioxidants in it is what helps you to not burn.
Well, but there's antioxidants in a lot of things, but for whatever reason, specifically blueberries is the one that maybe it's just a higher
Maybe it's just higher.
level of antioxidants.
So, but I'll tell you what my grandfather always did.
This is going to be an entertaining story.
I'm
I can already
serious.
tell you.
He would walk around in the woods and just eat an onion like an apple. He would eat an onion and he would smell so bad. He would onion would be permeating through his skin. No bugs would touch him.
Do you know, there's so many old wives' tales, and I absolutely believe them, that eating an onion like that, putting onions on your feet and things like that when you're sick will actually pull toxins from your body
Yeah.
and actually
So, but that's what he would do. He would eat onions.
So I think that's true. I think onions are an unsung
I would rather
superfood.
be bitten by mosquitoes.
Woman charged, accused of freeing.
This is a great one. We were just talking about bees, right? So this lady, the sheriff's department comes to evict her, apparently, serve an eviction. And
This is fabulous.
She got upset, and on her trailer, I guess, she had a whole bunch of hives of bees. She went and shook the boxes and then opened the lid and released these bees out to attack the sheriff's deputies.
I'm sorry, I am so distracted by this little ad.
Which one?
This one, most U.S. Look at it.
Windows don't.
Look at the picture.
That's inappropriate.
I mean,
Come on, Google.
I'm so distracted by that.
That's not even a Google advertisement.
But before I got distracted, all I could think is that, if TWRA.
Oh, you know that that law was, well, we can get into that. Hey, Cole, how you doing there, buddy?
You've added things to the news now?
Yeah, so there's more news, but this is just
Hi, bud.
news that I know about. He just needs attentions.
No, he wants what's left on that plate.
There's nothing on the plate.
There's crumbs.
We ate everything.
Anyway.
It's all gone. But anyways, so, yeah, this woman, it says, Massachusetts woman is facing multiple assault and battery charges for allegedly releasing a swarm of bees on a group of sheriff's deputies.
Multiple assault and battery. I
Some
wonder if
of
it's like
them
one per bee.
allergic to bee stings
Oh,
as
wow.
they tried to serve an eviction notice, authorities said. So, apparently, you're not allowed to have like swarms of bees as your guard dogs.
Well, you are. You're just not allowed
I
to
wonder-
release them.
I wonder if like it was like somebody like a robber like come in, if she released them on them, if she would be charged, or if it's just because it was the police.
I think if it was a robber, I could be like, oh, he knocked it over. Whoops.
So you would like commit perjury.
Not perjury. I just be like, there was a lot going on, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah, it was either him or me. I think it was him.
Pretty sure it was him. Also, he broke into my house.
That's
so...
true. True story. And so I just let a bunch of bees loose in my house.
No.
That would never happen.
He knocked them over.
There was a sign, beware of bees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
You
That's
probably
all.
do that.
Like McDonald's, that's all they had to do was put warning labels on their coffee cups.
Beware of hot coffee.
Like it was. Well, they got in trouble for it. This is a long time ago.
Yeah. That was, so,
That should have been our in the news.
what?
The Happy Meal buckets at McDonald's are back. The ones, the Halloween buckets from when we were kids.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, they came back yesterday.
They came back.
You can
yesterday?
go today, tomorrow, anytime until Halloween and order a Happy Meal at McDonald's and you get one of the buckets, the Halloween
That's like your
buckets.
candy bucket.
Yes, it is. And you get a Happy Meal.
Oh, maybe I should go to McDonald's and get some lunch.
I'm just saying.
I went to Hardee's today. It was not very good.
But we made homemade chicken soup here
Man, I wish I
from
was home.
chickens that we raised and butchered ourselves. Like I went out into the barn, into the freezer. Do you know what I had to climb over to do that?
A lot of stuff.
It was
I'm
a lot of
sorry.
stuff.
I gotta clean that.
But
barn
your
out
daughter was
again.
sick and said, I want chicken soup. Okay.
Here's another one. Putin adds martial law in Ukraine regions. By the way, the ones that he illegally annexed and like they voted and like, no, we don't want to, and he's like, I'm doing it anyways. So he's grasping at straws here, trying to issue martial law. He's also issuing major restrictions all throughout Russia and everything to keep people from the coup. There's that ad again.
Well, you know what? People need to know.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fine.
true. That's true. So, so yeah, Putin is grasping at straws. It's a mess. We're praying for everyone over there because it doesn't seem like there's a peaceful resolution to any of this.
No.
It's
No,
sad.
not now.
It's sad. So, and then we got another one here. Biden appears to be grasping at straws too.
What a great face.
Facing through midterm.
Look at his face.
Biden releasing oil from U.S. reserves. So there was a study that directly tied Biden's approval rating with the price of gas. So the price of gas would go up and Biden's rating would go down. And so he's doing everything that he can to lower the price of gas, including draining all of our reserves of oil dry. So,
All right.
I mean, the whole snowball effect happened when he said, hey, I'm going to shut down this pipeline coming from, Canada, and then shut that down, and now all of a sudden oil prices are going up and he doesn't know why. So,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Can we just go back to seeing his face?
sure.
He looks like he doesn't know why.
That's not nice to say.
I don't
even if
mean
it's
I don't
true.
mean it bad. I just mean like sometimes I feel bad for him.
I do think that there are some medical issues that are being hidden from us. I mean,
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe there are, maybe there aren't, but I definitely think that anyone in a position of power like that is either, well, I don't think that anybody in a position of power like that is in total control. I think that you are the pawn of someone, and I don't think
absolutely.
that even if you know what you're getting into, I don't think that you always like it.
So
So
but I mean,
sometimes I really do feel bad for him.
if you see any picture of a president, like when they're first elected or running for office versus like their second year, it's like they've aged 10 years.
Oh,
in
absolutely,
one.
absolutely.
And
I remember Obama. It was like he went from like this young-looking, like cool guy that everybody liked, and then he was very gray.
Yeah.
Like And I mean, he dealt with a lot. I will definitely say he
absolutely.
absolutely dealt with a lot in his presidency.
And the same thing with the second Bush. I mean, he was like,
Sure.
yeah, let's go get him. And then all of a sudden, like, boom,
But I feel
in
like
his second year, he was just like worn down.
I feel like
heavy,
Biden entered his presidency so already kind of up there in age,
Yeah.
and it's showing on him physically that, I do worry that this is going to
Yeah. Well,
take a bigger toll on him
mean,
than it did on other presidents.
I understand the whole publicists of trying to, connect and associate him with vitality in young people and making him wear the aviator sunglasses everywhere and making sure his hair was nice and colored and groomed all the time. But I think that they did him a disservice because, I mean, he just becomes a laughing stock when they stick him on a bicycle and he falls over. And it's sad to have
and I think that
leadership in our country.
I think that the
that
initial
seemed like
reality
that.
was somewhere between the two.
Yeah.
But I think that as this goes on, this is
I mean,
I don't envy that man at all.
I mean, Trump made things bad enough for himself in the world's eyes.
Absolutely.
Just by the tweets that he said. I mean, he was no holds back and, said whatever he wanted to say, very New York of him, right? But this is a whole another level. I mean, this is just people trying to make him look like something that he's not.
It's sad.
Yeah. But anyways,
that was just a sidebar.
Sidebar.
I mean, as much as I don't agree or whatever with this person or that person, I look at that man and I'm sad for him.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
So, but I mean, gas prices will come down. I saw that they were down about 10 cents today from last week. So that's helpful.
Wow, 10 whole cents.
10 cents. But as soon as this reserve is empty, then they'll pop back up.
Your son pumped my gas today.
He did?
He did.
Well, good. I've been teaching him how to do that.
Then he drove me home.
How'd that go?
Well, I did ask him before I let him drive me home. I was like, now Dad's been teaching you. Are you a good driver? And he's like, I don't know. And I said, well, if you drive me home, you're going to have to drive on our road. And our road is very narrow and curvy and not well defined in terms of like lines or ditches or creeks and things like that. And for whatever reason, people who have lived here a long time want to drive, 85
when you're comfortable
miles an hour on it. When the speed limit's like 25. And I just asked him, I was like, can you do that safely? Like, do I have to be scared? And he's like, I can do that. I do not think you have to be scared. And I was like, okay. He was very like logical and just.
I do not think you have to be scared.
I'm pretty sure it's fine. Okay. And so I let him drive and he did great. He was great. So he was great. And I think Alyssa's still doing her class for her ACTs. So I can say this without fear of her knowing. Way better than Alyssa at this point. Way
that's
better.
Great. Oh, Courtney from Sweet Chapel Farm Zone. Hey, how are you doing?
Hi. Oh, I don't know her. You might know her, but I watch her Facebook posts and I love them.
Yes, she's great. I met her at the Homesteaders of America Business Conference.
Oh, she's kind of fabulous. Hello.
Yep,
Hi.
she is. You would really like.
I do like her already.
My sister would like to get to know her.
Yeah, I'm sure that would make sense to me. But hi, yeah, I watch your Facebook posts and they're encouraging and informative, and I like getting to see that. Hi.
See, we have people that watch.
Sometimes. That's okay.
Oh my goodness.
Manchester. That's not far.
No.
We should be friends.
Yeah. So, yeah, we should go down and she's got a cow now. You got a cow now, right?
Do you have a cow?
I think that she's got.
It's got a delay. Yeah. We'll wait and see.
But yeah, they got I think that I saw where she had a milk cow, and they've been experimenting with that and learning how to.
That's exciting.
That. Yeah. So,
that's like goals for me.
Rabbits.
You know how I feel about that. I really want a cow.
Don't have a cow. But yeah, that's
we would love that.
Some goals, some ambitions, is cow. A mini Jersey.
A Jersey cow.
A mini Jersey. That would be fun.
Love it.
But we got to get some infrastructure. So that's kind of our
maybe one of our
goals.
Well, we use that word carefully after last week. One of our goals for the winter is to just kind of put some things in place.
So one of our ambitions is to have like goats or sheep.
Cows, goats, ducks, rabbits.
Yeah, she's got all kinds.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, since you're here. We have chickens, we have rabbits. What's our next, like, what is the next logical move? Because we have a lot of things that we're considering.
Fences.
Well, after fences.
Fences.
But what do we fence for? So,
We've got way too much overgrown
yeah.
woodland.
So we feel like maybe goats is a good way to go next.
But just like to manage the brush issue. And
but we're terrified of goats.
I figure
if we get
enough
such.
goats, that they'll just keep reproducing themselves, and when they wander off, maybe some of them will come back and make another goat.
Well, we do have, our land is like on all four sides of us, so even if they wander...
What we could do is we could put them outside the fence, and then they would want to get into the fence.
Oh, you're going to outsmart the goats?
Got to be smarter than the goats.
Okay.
So yeah, that's an ambition, a desire for this spring, is to get some goats or sheep or something like that.
He wants to
property.
Add something.
I want to add something.
He really wants to add something this spring.
But there is so much to do before then, because we're gonna have to deal with fencing, and that's gonna be an investment.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to deal with shelter, which means clearing out the barn, which means building a bridge so we can access it, which means all kinds of things. So lots of projects, and that means time, which seems to be at a premium these days.
Are we ready? Can we get into our main topic now?
Goats are a great learning curve. Goats aren't nearly as bad as many make. And that's what
Okay, so we'll talk later, because I want to talk to you about, we have some ideas on the breeds and things that we think what we want to do, but we'd love to just chat maybe and have somebody help us kind of guide us through our next steps. But
I think free breed
been there before.
It's great.
Sure.
A free breed.
Sure. Like
if anybody wants to give us some goats, let us know.
A free breed. Oh, I understand what you're saying. I really thought that you were going a different direction with that. Like, because you were talking about mixing breeds, like instead of having a purebred, something to have like a mutt.
Yeah, just a free breed. Just something like, hey, we found these goats. Here, do you want them?
But
if you found the goats,
but
Anyways.
Is it time? Can we get into our main topic now?
5 minutes.
No, okay. Well, that's fine, because our main topic is going to be like a straight up argument.
Okay, all right. Let's argue. I'm ready for it.
Because what did you say it was going to be?
So, the topic that I came up with, and this was after asking you, and you said, I don't know, we'll have to talk about it. And I was like,
no, you did. You're absolutely right.
I got to post something. So,
you're right.
The topic is, what did I say? Why?
I think so. Why you want a homestead.
Why you would want a homestead. It's right there on the screen.
Oh, great. So I think that that's not really the topic.
So why would you want a homestead?
No, I think that the topic is why you don't want a homestead. And I love our homestead, but it is not for the faint of heart. And I think that that's the real topic here.
You want a homestead because you're tough. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not. I mean, it's not for.
So let me.
Not for everyone.
Let me back up. Let me back up with this conversation. This is all free.
Might not even be for us, because I only consider us, homesteaders.
We have no notes. I rolled in the driveway
nothing.
and set cameras up, and we're
eating dinner in the first part of this.
We're just rolling with this.
No plan.
So, why is it that we decided, hey, let's move out of the suburbs, get some land, and start doing things different? Why did we decide to do that?
So, I mean, I don't think you're going to like my answer.
That's fine.
Because our actual plan to move into like a better version of the suburbs completely fell through.
Yeah.
And this is the door that the Lord opened for us. And I'm so grateful that he did, but I don't think that we went into it thinking we're going to be homesteaders.
Right.
I think that we thought we're going to live the exact same life we've always lived, just in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, all right, that's fair. That's fair enough. So we didn't embark on this mission on purpose. We didn't go out
Not
and
initially.
say.
There was a moment that we said that we started doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't when we ended up here, why we ended up here.
And that's true. That is true. So we are not the homesteaders that go out and say, all right, what's the best state most friendly to homesteaders.
No, I see that asked all the time
Yeah.
in the homesteader communities.
Where can we get land and not be bothered by people
Yeah.
and this and that? That's
We
not
did
our,
happen into that. Our county within our state is actually fabulous
Yeah.
for that, but we won't tell you where that is because not everybody needs to come here.
So they've changed some things. It's still not terrible, but it's not as good as it used to be.
But it was when we came
It
here.
was when we came here.
Yeah.
There have been some issues, but we kind of fell into it. We kind of stumbled into the fact that hey, we now have
I think
all this land around us.
right at first, I think maybe we felt obligated
Well, yeah,
a little bit,
So-
like we have all this land and we have family members who garden and they
Yeah.
raise chickens on much smaller amounts of land,
Right.
and we were like, well, we should probably do
We should probably do something.
probably do something.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I wanted to move out of the suburbs because I was feeling like it was just there was just so much going on
Yeah.
that was detrimental to what we were trying to accomplish. There was so much going on. We felt like the most important thing was our family
That's
and
true.
our children.
Yeah.
We felt like our church body and the local connection to our church was important. And then past that, we felt like it was our responsibility to take care of ourselves. And the more we were pushed into these suburban areas where, we were living in a little town called Smyrna, but we're in this subdivision where you could throw a rock any direction and hit any one of 400 houses.
But we didn't know any of them.
We didn't know anybody.
And it wasn't even for lack of trying necessarily. It
Right.
just everybody wanted to stay in their own little box, in their
Yeah.
own little world. And
they have their bubble
and
and they
it's-
have their things that they do.
it's
and
amazing because how many acres do we live on right now?
160 something.
We live on 160 acres. So, and that's on that spans all four sides of our home where
Mm-hmm.
we are. And it's amazing because I would say that we know our neighbors here
Yeah.
who we cannot see, who we have to drive to reach so much better.
Yeah.
So much better
Oh,
than we
absolutely.
did our neighbors in that subdivision where we could almost see into their kitchens every night.
I think the breaking point for me was the day, and you weren't there. It was me home alone with the kids. You were out doing something with your mom or something like that. I don't know.
I'm so sorry.
Having a girls' day. But the kids, they were in the living room playing on video games or something like that, and it was just a quiet afternoon, and I get a knock at the door. And so I go and I answer the door, and two policemen are standing there
I remember
know,
this.
and so I step
I remember
outside
this.
and close the door behind me, and they're like, "Excuse me, sir, your kid's been playing on the roof?" And I was like, no. And they're like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure. They've been in the living room the whole time." And they're like, "Well, because we got a report that there were kids playing on your roof. Are you sure there was nobody on your roof?" I'm like, "I am fairly confident that I would have noticed the clickety-clack of something up on my roof." And they're like, "All right." And so they sat out there for a little bit, and then they came back about 15 minutes later and knocked on the door again. And they're like, "Okay, we figured out what was happening. It was the neighbor on the other side of your neighbor. Some kids were playing up on top of their camper." And this was like one of those little pop-up tent
I
camper
gotcha.
things,
Yeah.
like 8-9 foot up off the ground. And these two little boys, they were rambunctious little boys, like 9-10 years old, and they were climbing up on top of it and jumping off,
I remember this, yeah.
and I'm like, good gracious, somebody called the cops because two boys were playing on top of a camper and said that they were playing on a roof and were gonna fall off.
Well,
Yeah, and I was just like, this is,
so, but
there are problems.
getting back to what we were talking about and how we ended up here, I'm going to stand by what I said, that I don't think that we chose to live here. I think that it was what was given to us. It's what happened. It's where we ended up, and I'm not sad about it. And then I think for the first little bit, we felt obligated.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, we have to do something. We can't do nothing. We should, you know.
But I think that.
But then very quickly, at least for me, that turned into, look at all that we've been blessed with.
Absolutely.
And this has to be for more than just, let's live out here and, you know, it'll be fun and our kids like nature or whatever. I mean, all of a sudden we started, I think, getting a vision for what our lives could look like. And it was drastically different.
Yeah.
And I will say that they look different now than they used to, but they don't look drastically different yet. But I still think that we have our eyes set on something that is drastically different, and we're headed that way.
But I think that there was a moment where we decided that, hey, this in the city, in the suburbs, is not right for us. Because we were going to move out near your parents in a little place called Arrington, right?
Yes.
And that fell through. It was a little bit closer into town, but it was still out there, and there was still some property, and still be able to have the same kind of ambitions. But then God kind of redirected things and ended up bringing us out here to where we are now. And you're right. I mean, it just the vision for what God had in store for us kind of started to flourish. We became.
I think it started to dawn on us, and we were going, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this, I don't know if you can put that up there, but
Yeah.
that is a great, I mean, she is absolutely right. She says,
Homesteading is a stewardship. What do we want to steward? Oh, exactly right.
Yeah.
So Sean and Beth Daughtry had a dowry. I can't never pronounce her name.
Okay.
They had a talk, and that was one of the things that brought me to tears when we were sitting there listening to them. As Beth was talking about how we were to be stewards of the land that we had been blessed with, and
well, that's definitely true in our situation, because we didn't
the whole mindset of
pursue it,
of stewardship and husbandry for these things that are in our care. It touched me, well, mainly because I'm a husband, and I see you, and I see my kids, and all these things that God has blessed me with, and the weight of that, it sits heavy on me sometimes.
Sure.
Especially here recently with changing jobs, and hey, where's our paychecks coming from, and how am I going to provide? But then look to the Lord, and He's like, I got you.
Yeah, we were sustained 100%, and
Yep.
still are, thankfully. But I mean, I think that's absolutely right. I think that at some point we claimed that stewardship.
Yeah.
To say, this wasn't just what we were given, but this is something that we want to be responsible for. This is something that we want to take ownership in. This is something that we want to have an active part and an active role in.
Yes, you're exactly right. And claiming something and being good at it are two different things.
No, we're still working on that part, but that's okay.
It's
when you first told me that you were going to have a homesteading YouTube channel, I said,
What?
Well, you don't know how to do. I don't know how. We don't know what we're doing." And you said, "Exactly."
Yeah.
You said, "I just think that there's plenty of people out there who are like us that don't have a clue what they're doing, and they're trying anyways." And they're trying to seek instruction, and they're trying to seek help and things like that. And we may not be that instruction or that help, but we could be that encouragement to keep going, because
if we find a little nugget here and there and we can share that with somebody, I think that's the glory of it. I've learned a lot about.
But we are not great homesteaders.
Chickens.
We're only just homesteaders.
Yes, just homesteaders. I've learned a lot about chickens and how they work, and what makes them do better and things, and I've managed to keep our flock alive pretty well.
Hey, I'm really pleased with our chickens.
I'm excited about our chickens. I really am.
I am too.
I'm disappointed in our rabbits. They're still not.
I'm absolutely not disappointed in our rabbits, and they are doing what they're supposed to do. I think that there was a learning curve there with them, and understanding, when and how they do what they do. But I have no doubts. I was having doubts, but as we've gotten into this cooler season and things have picked up a little bit, we may still put that off for the winter season now. Mm. But I feel 100% confident that come spring, we are going to be just fine.
Probably.
I do.
Probably so. So it's fun stuff. But yeah, so why should you homestead? Because it's a passion inside you. Because it becomes something that you can recognize as a responsibility that you have, not just to your family and yourself, but to the land around you. Even if you've only got an acre or two, you can be you can be connected to that land, and you can be a part of that and nurture that to become the most that it can be.
Sure.
I think back to how God charged Adam in the garden. I mean, God put Adam in this near perfect place with near perfect surroundings and near perfect everything, and he said, all right, Adam, take care of this for me.
Just don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up, right?
That's it. Just don't mess it up.
And that tells me that that even the greatest things that God gives us, even the best things in the world that we could be given from God, still take nurturing and care and attention and stewardship, like Courtney said, husbandry. And so that's why homesteading, I think, has become important to us, is we've seen the opportunity to take the blessings that the Lord has given us and help to cultivate them and nurture them and care for them in a way that He would want us to care for them, so that we can receive the most blessing out of them. Because that's what the Lord wants to do, is He wants to bless us. There's nothing that the Lord gives us that is not a true blessing, and it's just our job to identify that blessing and do the work that God has charged us to. So there's many aspects of homesteading, animals, gardening, hunting and gathering, and but preserving, and there's a whole lot to learn, and I'm sure that there's
a ton left for us to learn.
It's not everybody's cup of tea to do everything, but we can all do something to better care for and better preserve those things that God has given us. So so homesteading.
So next week,
fell in love with it.
Well, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Homesteading. But next week, I think we should have the opposite conversation.
Oh, what? Why you shouldn't homestead?
Well, yeah, there's a lot to be considered there, unless you want to just talk about it right now. But I think
we got 5 minutes,
okay.
6 minutes, 4 minutes. So why shouldn't you homestead?
I mean, it's not that you shouldn't. I'm not encouraging anyone to not do it. It's just know what you're getting into.
Okay.
It's a lot more expensive.
Yes.
Than people think it is.
So we processed all of our chickens.
Yes.
I ran the calculations.
By the way, how much did those chickens cost you?
Ran the calculations.
No. The babies.
Baby
when
chickens?
You purchased the chickens.
Like $3.
Okay.
A piece.
So you realize I think that's what people really think it costs us.
Yeah.
Because, we're going to feed them on the grass and stuff, right? And the chicken tractors,
Well,
we're going to move them around. Absolutely we did. And so I really think that that's what they think it costs.
Yeah. So when I calculated all the feed, the chickens themselves, and the amortized cost of the supplies that were needed, figuring over 5 years, they ended up costing us $18 a bird.
Which I was happy to pay.
Yeah, for all natural, grass-fed, organic.
By far, best chicken I've ever tasted in my entire life. Really good.
It makes other chicken taste like water.
It does. It's absolutely true. But so I have no regrets with that. But it's a lot more expensive. Was it a ton of work? No. I'm going to say no. It wasn't. I don't think that having those chickens, you have to go out and move them and feed them. And I did that plenty. You did that plenty. Our kids did that plenty. But no, I don't think that was a crazy amount of work, but it was expensive.
was expensive. And we've got plans to get that cost down, doing bulk feeds, and getting more chickens from a supplier that can get them to us cheaper. So our goal is to get them down to around $8 a bird, I think, is what we can hit. But if he keeps going up, that might be more like $10 a bird. But even at that, I think that would be still worth doing it. And the ability to bless others, because not everybody has as much space as us.
That's true.
So we can, add a couple more chicken tractors and easily house 50 birds here on the property.
Cheerful Rain says it makes great soup,
It
too.
does make great soup.
You're not wrong.
It does make great soup. So.
But, that and you have all these animals, I think you get attached.
You do get attached, and it becomes difficult. I mean, it's not easy to go and raise this bird to be food, and then when it comes time for it to become food.
You think chickens are not, you don't really have like a relationship with chickens like you do with dogs or, rabbits and like mini Jersey cows and things like that. You don't think
eat mini Jersey cows. You milk them.
But it doesn't matter. Eventually, it will pass.
That's true.
Regardless,
Yeah.
And I think that when you open your heart to being able to love and care for more things, you also open your heart to more hurt at some point.
Yes.
And that may not last long, and you do get something out of it. Don't get me wrong, but that's not for everyone.
So what you're saying is, if you're poor, if you're compassionate, you shouldn't be a homesteader.
I don't think I said that.
Why are we homesteaders? Yeah, and then
there's other things too, but I mean, it definitely think it comes with its fair share of hardships. It's wonderful. Dean asked us last week, what do you love about it? And I said everything. And I do. I love everything about it.
But it definitely comes with its fair share of sacrifice. I mean, because it's not easy to put yourself aside every morning and go and take care of the chickens because they can't take care of themselves.
Right.
Right. It's not easy to forego that impromptu trip to
That's
the
another
beach,
thing.
because you don't have somebody to watch the animals.
You either cannot travel, or if you do, you will pay for it. I mean, if you have a decent farm sitter who's going to actually come and take care of things for you and do it well, where you're not going to lose animals or have hardships or phone calls that are scary while you're gone, you will absolutely pay a great deal for that because it's valuable. And so a lot of people who live this life and who homestead just don't travel.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for us...
I wonder if you can bring a mini Jersey to a pet-friendly resort.
It's pet friendly. but unfortunately for us, I do something, at least for a season, that requires us to travel.
Yeah.
And it's at the worst possible time.
Oh, it is.
And
it's
we make it work.
in the spring and early summer,
and we make it work.
We make it work, but it doesn't come easy, and it doesn't come cheap. So there are definitely sacrifices to consider. But in our opinion, it's kind of like having kids, yes, they are the worst thing in the world.
They are not.
They're terrible.
They're not.
And you can't stand them.
Ours are great.
But
I like our kids.
But you love them to death.
Your son pumped my gas and drove me home today.
He did a great job. Yeah. Your daughter made you make soup.
Oh, she needed soup.
She needed soup. Yeah, so you gladly and happily care for the things that you love.
Yeah.
And we love the land that we're on. So that would be why you would want a homestead, I think.
All right.
All right?
I'll let you win.
I win. Woohoo! Well, that is about all the time that we've got. It is after 7. Is there any parting wisdom that you want to leave?
No.
Okay. All right. One thing that I was contemplating and considering today as I was running about my day at work is the fact that, and I posted this on my work business Facebook page, which is Shaphan Sylvester Nashville. What is it? Nashville. Digital Marketing Pro or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's somewhere in there. Success is not measured by your failures. Oftentimes, the people with the most success are the people with the most failures. And so I think a lot of times we get wrapped up in the failures that surround us and get demoralized and defeated by that. And we fail to see the success that we've had. So I just want to encourage you that your success is not measured by your failures, but rather just keep on pushing through, keep on working, keep on striving for that goal, and then measure your success by the wins, because that's what everybody else measures it by. Yeah, and that's about it. But thank you guys so much for watching and enjoying this live stream with us. We really enjoy when you guys get on and comment in the chat. We will be back, Lord willing, and if the creek don't rise, next Wednesday. Do you have an idea of what you want to talk about?
No.
Okay, well, we'll figure it out.
How to use 21 eggs a day, every day, for the rest of your life.
How to make all the quiche.
I made 3 quiches today.
You did great.
I'm only down.
I'm hungry. I only had 1
18
slice.
eggs.
So
well, it's
I'm gonna
cold,
go.
but you can have it.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.